Welcome back to Grant and Danny on the Fan. You just heard Toby's breaking news on Jayden Daniels. This is via Ian Rappaport. So I guess right before Dan Quinn's press conference coming up here in a couple of minutes, the team leaked to the national media that Jayden Daniels is being shut down by the club. The Commanders have decided to call it a season for Daniels. He was not cleared after being reevaluated today for practice. So they feel like with a short week in a game Saturday against the Eagles, maybe he wouldn't have been ready for that game, or you'd get him back just in time to get back on the field. Then they play Wednesday next week, the Christmas Day game against the Cowboys, which further complicates things. So at 4-10, because it'd be short practice weeks, because you're not sure when he's going to be cleared, they have made the decision to shut Jayden Daniels down. We will not see him again in the 2025 football season.
So it's Thursday's the Christmas Day game, but the point still stands. Yeah, it's short week this week, shorter by a day, and then a semi-short week going into the following one. So, again, this is just, I don't know. I don't quite know what they're thinking here, because if it's under the guise of, well, he's not cleared today, that means you're sure he's not going to be cleared Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or anytime next week? Or is this we're shutting him down because we're shutting him down? Either way, the result kind of ends in this one spot, right, where they're going, we are just on, it seems, again, I'm reading the tea leaves like everybody else, and we'll see what Dan Quinn says this afternoon. But it's we don't think we can get this right. We don't think that he's going to be right. We don't feel comfortable. He's not comfortable. We're shutting it down. I wonder if it's more shut down or if it's legitimately we just can't see a path to him being healthy enough to do it in time.
Well, I mean, Rap Sheet called it a shutdown.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's his own terminology. I don't know what the difference is, though. You got 3 weeks left, and he's not medically unable to get back in 3 weeks. You don't know that right now. So this is a shutdown, right? I mean, you can't tell me right now definitively there's no way he could play in 3 weeks from now against the Philadelphia Eagles. So if you're ruling him out for the final 3 games, that's a shutdown. This is very similar. I know people don't like this. Robert Griffin in 2013, coming off of the amazing 2012 season, all in for week 1, the bad 2013 follow-up year, with 3 games to go, they shut him down. And at the time, Mike Shanahan said something along the lines of, we need to protect him, and he's taking too many hits or whatever. He just wasn't playing at a high level. They didn't like where it was trending. They shut him down. This is not the same as that, obviously. But Jayden Daniels is not cleared for this week. It's a short week next week, which means he'd come back with very little practice time. So they're shutting him down. Now, there are a lot of people in the fan base that wanted this. So we could hear from you next, 800-636-1067. I'd love to hear the reaction to this news that the Commanders are shutting Jayden Daniels down. Dan Quinn's going to talk in just a minute, so we'll listen as soon as he gets to the podium to what he has to say about this. But they will not be risking any further injury. So the good news here, because there's a lot of things about it that I find to be difficult on Daniels as it pertains to starting fast next season. I think he needs the reps and to play and all that stuff. But the really good news is he should be full go, OTAs, mini camp, start of the regular season. Now, how long that lasts, I don't know. Everyone acts like if he's just healthy at the start of next year, all your problems
it's not automatic.
I don't happen to believe that that's true. I think look at Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert and Kirk Cousins and most of the quarterbacks in the league, Jordan Love, they're all playing through injuries right now. They're all playing through something. So sometime early next year, he'll end up having to play through something. And you can't protect him every time that happens. But in this case, in a lost season at 4-10 with 3 games left, it's not a terrible idea. We were just talking to Jay Gruden about it. He said he would totally understand it. That's where I'm at. What would I do personally? I would start him and play him. I think he needs to play. Do I have any issue with the team shutting him down? I do not. I don't think it's the right call. I think it's the wrong call. But I think it's the wrong call at like a, 55 play him, 45 don't. It's not like a 90-10 thing.
Yeah, I think we come from a similar spot, just a different conclusion. I think most people would acknowledge it's important for him to play football. Like, that's anybody. It's even Terry McLaurin needed to play football. He's got a ton of deposits in the bank. He's been really, really good. He needed the time on the grass. His year was dramatically affected because he didn't do the normal course of events over the course of the summertime and into training camp and into the preseason, et cetera. He had a terrible season when they needed him because he wasn't ready to play football, right? I think everybody understands that you benefit from playing. So that's why it's so frustrating when you get this vet day off, that vet day off, where guys aren't practicing, etc.
Let me jump in real quick because Dan Quinn's coming to the podium. I want to catch this right as it starts. This is DQ with Reporters Live.
And the coaches included, man. Take a minute and enjoy the win. And there's nothing quite like a locker room after that. It had been a while. But today, that's when you get back to it, and that's why we have our Truth Day, what we can do better and what we need to do better, and there's a lot that we need to do better. There was flashes, but that consistency continues to haunt us. There were some big plays. The complimentary football at the end of the half was probably my favorite part of the game. Punt return, stop, interception, like those were ones that I thought were really cool spots. But penalties and turnover margin and other things, we definitely got to improve, and that's a big part of finishing. And with the division at hand of the games that we're having in the next three, that's a big deal for us, and we're really pumped to go after it and again this week. Then the last thing I'd hit you on will be regarding Jayden, and we're going to sit him for the final 3 games. And I know your first question likely is, well, DQ, what went into that? And the answer is it was a lot, and part medical and part team. As of today, he still wasn't all the way cleared to play. So like last week, wouldn't have all the results until the end of the week, and then a short week next week with the Christmas game. So we believe this decision allows him to take advantage of the next few weeks in a different play. He wants to practice, and he will practice. He also wants to support Marcus in a way that Marcus has demonstrated and helped him. And so, I thought that was significant. We all know the best way to grow is during the games, but with that, not being the best way for us, there's plenty of ways for him to learn, over the next 3 weeks. And, he's going to learn from this vantage point too. So I just wanted to give you all the info that I had, and then we can get started recapping the game or however you guys want to proceed. So let's get it rocking.
John Kahn?
How disappointing, Dan, is it that it's come to this, given what you guys have all talked about, the importance of those game snaps?
Yeah, I get it, John. And that was the plan for sure with 5 games, and in football and life, you adjust, and this is the best plan for him and for the team right now. And so that's what, we're always going to look into it and have lots of discussions about it, but we decided this was the best way for us over the next 3 games, knowing that he wasn't fully cleared to get back just yet.
And then if you can sum up his season, and also how much does it weigh in there that he had left each of the last 3 games he played with some sort of injury? Does that factor into it? And, all that.
Yeah, we discussed all that, but that didn't factor it into it, John. One didn't relate to the other, and so it was disappointing. And hey, let's be honest, it's been hard, in a lot of ways. So we're just trying to make the best decisions we can, but it wasn't, a factor from previous. It was just a matter of, hey, not cleared to do it, and we're gonna make the best decisions for the team and for him. That's a number one.
Nikki?
Dan, when did Jayden get informed of this? When did you guys tell him the decision?
Just this afternoon.
Okay.
So I had a chance to visit with him. Adam did as well. And so it was important. We want to be communicative with all the guys, and especially their spot, and Marcus as well. And Marcus will do a great job. And I thought for him also being able to prepare and get all the reps in and out, that can be a difficult process to go through as well. So we wanted to give him the best runway to go do his thing as well.
And I know earlier in the season you had said that the reps were important. Was that a matter of circumstance, like in Madrid when there were, 6 games left versus 3? Or was it, just looking at the totality of everything that has happened?
Yeah, and it wasn't even going to be 3, so thinking it wasn't going to be cleared up for this game and then a short week to go. So then we're now we're coming back into less than that. So you're right, Nikki, all of that went into the process to go do it.
Tom?
Hey, Dan. To what extent, if any extent, was Josh involved in this decision?
Yeah, Adam and I obviously keep him in the loop on all the things that are going through it. So it's good. We continue to have dialogue with him. We meet on a regular basis before the games, Fridays, Mondays. So we have a constant dialogue, Tom. So that's helpful. That it's not something that we have to go to on a big moment or anything. We just try to stay in a constant level of communication, and that has been really solid for us.
So just to clarify, this was a decision that you guys made and then notified him of, or am I correct on that?
Yeah, I guess that would be correct in the way that you'd say it. We talked and have discussions. I don't know if we notified him, but maybe a discussion's a better way to phrase that.
David Aldridge?
We certainly don't have that kind of juice to notify the owner. Yeah, that's I better clarify that.
Dan, again, knowing that you still have 3 games left to play in the season, this season's been so odd with everything that's gone down with the injuries and everything. But do you have a sense of, here's going forward, how we can maximize both Jayden's potential and his availability? Like that, like you have more information now than you did a year ago.
Yes.
And what's different now going forward, I guess I would say.
Yeah, and going in, some of that is going to be by design him too, and that's why we were hopeful for the reps DA, right. And we thought, okay, here's a shot to go find those specific things for him, and it's mostly on dropbacks, honestly, DA, to say, when do I remain a passer, when do I eyes downfield, and so not having to do those in the game reps isn't ideal, but we're going to try to find the best way possible, and I'm hopeful that in a year from now, when you say, what'd you learn, when you're talking to Jayden, and maybe this vantage point even over a couple of weeks when he's, disappointed he's not playing and wanting to be, that we gain some experience and maybe a vision that you wouldn't have normally had, DA. And that's what I'm hopeful that will get done. And then as it gets into the off season and the training, like obviously that's going to be a big part of what we're doing, knowing how important it is. And so he knows that. He's not happy that, he's going to be out, but that's where we're at, as we're going through it right now. But there's a lot to still learn, and we're going to push that hard.
I know it seems like when you think about last year, at least a lot of people seem to think it was just a bunch of incredible plays that he made, but there was a lot of complementary football going on last season that allowed him to make those plays. And I just wonder, how important going forward is that to improve the defense to the point where they're creating more turnovers and getting shorter fields for him and more opportunities for him to make plays on shorter, quicker drives and easier drives and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. And you may have heard me say it. I remember from last season, I said the best part of our team is the team. It's covering a kick, it's field position, it's creating a takeaway, it's converting a 4th down. And so having the complementary football to do that, that's a big deal. And when you can nail those, we have more continuity, certainly offensively. We perform better on the fourths. But you're right, man. You create a short field, you get one to go. And so that's why I felt yesterday strongly about the half. It was a fantastic return by Jaylen, and then a stop and a pick. And it's like, that's the switch, man. You've seen it. We all have. And that's that momentum change that just takes place in these smallest moments. And I felt that yesterday. I felt that energy. We did enough to let them back in when you have to score lead. But that's what I'm referring to, and that's what you're referring to as well. And so that's capturing the complementary way that you were describing, and I couldn't agree more.
To Sean?
DQ, as part of this, obviously, barring injury, Marcus will start, the rest of the season. I know obviously he's set to be a free agent, going into the offseason. How important are these last few games for him? Kind of as he's...
You're listening to Dan Quinn's press conference today out in Ashburn on Grant and Danny. So there's the breaking news. Jayden Daniels being shut down for the final 3 games of the season. Dan Quinn spent weeks talking about the importance of game reps, the importance of getting Daniels back on the field. Last week, something really shifted in how he answered questions. And now today, they are shutting Daniels down.